Hello, Awakening Stars. Yesterday we had the full moon at 9 degrees of Aquarius, 15 degrees of Capricorn in Sidereal. And here I am talking about it. And this one is quite uncomfortable for the ego because we have the sun at Leo and the moon in Aquarius, and the destiny of this moon is like this quest for attention, where the lion, and remember we are in the middle of Lion's Gate, and we will be in the Lion's Gate until the August 8th. And so during this portal, it's like the sun is in Leo, it's this quest for attention outside, and the moon in Aquarius, it's like ending up going in circles, trapped around something or someone, right? And so the idea here is that the ruler in the tropical system of this moon is Uranus, and so it has to do more with this, like repeating a cycle, a pattern. And then in the sidereal system, the purpose to change course, to interrupt the pattern, to break the cycle, it's taking responsibility because it goes into Capricorn. So the idea here is that we tend to go in circles around something that is external. And as the frequencies keep rising, this is just going to be more and more pointless to go outside searching for something, because the more we do that, the more pointless it becomes, since the idea here is that we realize that the journey is inside. So every time that we attempt, and this is very connected to social media and so on, so this like, or marketing and so on, like this quest for attention, that it seems to be like the gold of this age. And the more we go outside, the more we find ourselves in this cycle. And so the key here is going within. I already talked a little bit about this in the new moon live, and I'm feeling a bit distracted by the sound. So the idea here is that we focus within and we see, because that's the thing with the moon. Like, there is all these theories about if it's artificial, if it's not artificial, if it's like from where the matrix is, the false human matrix is projected, and so on. And it is very easy to get lost in this kind of stories. But in the end, this becomes more like it drains our energy more than gives us any solution, right? So the idea here is that instead of focusing our attention outside, trying to find the answers, we remember that we have all the answers that we could need inside of us. And so the quest is really inside, going back, like turning around the attention into ourselves. And instead of looking for recognition outside, giving ourselves the recognition we need. But that's the thing with the moon. So the real purpose of the moon, beyond if it's artificial or not, and this is something that I've been realizing, the moon is not really to manifest. The moon is to observe the programming. And it is very connected to humans because it is all about emotions. So the more aware we become of these mood swings and these emotions going up and down and so on, the less disempowered we are towards it. So it's really helping us to see and discover these emotions inside, to unplug them, to deprogram them. So I would say, like, the purpose here is that you take this responsibility back to yourself, this power back, to deprogram these cycles we get trapped into. And because this is the matrix, like, there's nothing in your matrix that is not being projected from you. So for sure, if you can see it, there's something within from which it's projecting. And so, like, and this is a journey. And so depending on where you are in this journey, you, instead of getting overwhelmed, which is very easy, especially on the full moons, because it's like all is there. But also, like, because all is there, you can start, like, seeing, like, how much of this inner work you have done. we have here company. How much of this inner work we have done. And instead of getting discouraged by all these emotions, this flood of emotions, it's like going, like, maybe it's something very little that you can do. Like, for example, for me, it was like going today to, I don't know in English, like to pass the inspection of the car. And this is something that, like my brother used to do, and it's the first time I went myself, and so it was something very small, but for me it was a huge victory inside to do it, and that everything went well and it was successful, right? So maybe it's like something that small, that simple, but that it symbolizes taking the responsibility for yourself. And this is what gives you freedom. Not necessarily like some huge, like, recognition from outside sources, because that's the point. The more, like, we take back this responsibility, this power, and we start deprogramming these emotions that we have been plugged into, and this is what has been creating repetitive cycles and patterns in our matrices, the more free we become. And the more we can align with our true soul purpose and start calling in our soul tribes, which we are meant to co-create with. And this is all about alignment. But alignment cannot start until we do this, like, emotional deprogramming process. And we don't need to make it more complicated than it's necessary, because and with this I mean it's not necessary to, know all your past lives and things like that. Soul healing can start right now with what you're living, because that's Like your matrix is constantly giving you feedback on what's the focus now. And instead of just, if you are feeling an emotion and just like falling into it, which you can do as well. And sometimes it actually helps you to surrender and then actually see something and have a breakthrough. But I mean, if you activate this capacity to observe all these emotional swings and so on, you become more empowered to start making changes and to have more alignment with your purpose, with your soul, and to embody more of your soul, because that's what these frequencies are all about. And we, at the same time, we have Venus retrograding. It's still an evening start, and it's starting to disappear in the sky. So it's like this moment of going within into what are our true desires. And it's like, in a way, with Pluto retrograding as well, we're having this moment of, in a way, of closing, of a lot of closure. And it takes walking this bridge before we have a rebirth with Pluto. So in this, like, crossing the bridge, instead of losing all hope and just like looking for these doomsday scenarios or conspiracy theories and so on, like it is like important to find back your center inside of you, and then it doesn't matter what is outside. It just, you can go day by day, because maybe there's some turbulence, but if you trust yourself as the observer of your life, you can navigate it safely by just doing this process of observing your emotions and deprogram them. And if you want help, I can do that, since that's what I offer with astrology, because that's the thing also, like it's very easy to go to astrology and things like that as a way to blame something external. It's Venus retrograding, it's Pluto retrograding, it's the Lion's Gate, it's whatever. But in the end, all these things are just like their purpose. It's for us. They're happening for us to realize about what we have been accumulating, so we can start unraveling it, unlocking it, unplugging it, deprogramming it, so our truth can emerge. So we are in this middle of crossing this bridge of this huge, like, awakening and cleaning job, making room, decluttering, for our souls to have more space to come into this world and change it from within, from the inside out. So I'm just sending this message of encouragement, and yeah, like the moon goes into Cancer in the decan of Aquarius, so the freedom comes from embracing your emotions, surrendering, and deprogramming them, because they don't have power over you if you remember who you truly are. And so I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. You have all my links in bio if you want to work together. Have a great full moon and a great week.